Hey folks, and thanks for tuning in again. We are on day 4 of my 8 days hike across Tenerife. If you haven't seen the other videos, you can find them over here. And if you did, you're ready to watch day number 4. Let's go. When I set up my tent the night before, I was very happy to have found this place because it was already pretty dark. And I was also pretty lucky that when I got up there was no rain, so I quickly packed up everything because I expected it to be a pretty rainy day, and it turned out to be a pretty rainy day. This was the first time I had to use my camera in rainy conditions, and I was a little bit afraid of damaging it. And I was also afraid of having bad sound because the raindrops always hit the microphone. And after a while I figured maybe I should just put my cap on the mic to protect it from the rain and to capture better sound. And this seemed to work out quite well. Even though pretty much all of my hike went mainly through pure nature, just trails and then different landscapes, I quite often had to cross some big roads because there's a lot of mountain roads who lead up to nice viewing points. They're called Mirador in, I think in Spanish, or is it the Portuguese one? I'm not really sure. And on this day I reached this Mirador, and it's supposed to be one of the most beautiful ones. But due to the bad weather conditions, there was nothing to see. I wasn't particularly unlucky to have a very rainy day. You can see it by the vegetation that this is quite some rainy area. And there's lots of greens, all the trees are full of green leaves, and there's a little plants on the ground and a lot of moss growing alongside the trees. So this is typically northern Tenerife. It's raining a lot, and this is what you've got to expect if you hike on this northern part of the island. The ground of the trail in this area was pretty muddy and sticky. It was some kind of sand-earth mixture, which really stuck to my feet. I normally, as you can see in the video, I'm wearing barefoot hiking shoes, and this ground material really stuck to my feet. So it went from walking almost barefoot to having to carry 2 bricks with me all the time. When I planned my trip, I made sure to have enough food with me for the whole hike. And I always say to myself, I'm gonna stick with what I have with me, but every time I pass a little village, it gets quite tempting to stop at the supermarket, get a fresh apple, maybe a can of Coke. And what I really like is buying half a dozen of eggs. I just think a bus stop is a perfect place to have a little barbecue. People look funny, but they don't really care, and if they would, I would apologize and go somewhere else. I think the main reason why people choose not to do this is that they would be too embarrassed to do something like this in public, because people might think, oh, this is a poor or crazy guy, but I like to do it this way, and it doesn't take away the feeling of having a nice experience in the nature. It even adds up to it, because being in an area like this and acting like this even pushes the feeling of doing something different and standing out from the usual way of living. So I like having dinner in bus stops. after this town I had to do a lot of climbing again, and you might hear it from the sound. It was a very windy day. It was really tricky to capture the sound, and I'm still working on it, and we see how I can improve, but I think it's decent, it's okay. And if you've been watching until this point, you seem to not bother that much. So we're watching day number 4, and this is the first time I slipped. I don't have it on camera. Would be funny to have recorded it, but the bad thing is I slipped with the camera, with the tripod in my hand, and while slipping and hitting the ground pretty hard, I instantly prayed, please don't destroy the camera, please don't destroy the camera. And I was pretty lucky. Nothing happened to the camera, but I hit my elbow pretty hard, and I had to do lots of cleaning. But yeah, I think slipping and hitting the ground is part of hiking. So at some point it's gonna happen, and you just need to hope that neither your equipment nor your body breaks in such an incident. Like the night before, I had to set up my tent again next to some farmland, and this time it was quite a struggle to set up the tent because it was dead windy, and I had to pin down the tent with some big rocks, otherwise it would have flown away. But after a while I made it, and yeah, it was a pretty hard day, and I was pretty happy to be in a dry place again and get ready for day number 5. So this has been day number 4 of the commented videos. Please give a thumbs up if you liked it. Please ask me anything you want to know in the comments, and if you don't want to miss any further videos, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.